Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate if you'd purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today we'll be taking a look at this Rolex Datejust 36 new model for 2021 with the fluted white gold bezel, the blue fluted Jubilee dial motif, as you can see here, with index hour marks and an Oyster bracelet. Reference number 126234. I'll be going over the case, the dial, the bezel, crown functions, the movement, as well as the bracelet, and I'll be giving my thoughts on this watch throughout this video. So first off, I just want to say, this may very well be my actual dream watch, something that I would actually want to work toward. Either Oyster or Jubilee bracelet does not really matter to me because it's all about the dial here. More on that in a second, but starting off with the case. The case measures 36 millimeters from finger to thumb. That's the diameter of the case from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock position. Also the 10 to 4 o'clock position, same distance, same 36 millimeters. It's in the name, Datejust 36. You also have the monoblock middle case with the screw down case back and the Rolex winding crown to ensure water resistance down to 100 meters or 330 feet below sea level. All right, taking a look over at the case here, we have a full high polish presentation here made entirely of oyster steel. That is Rolex's own version of steel and other minerals in order to create a very high polish, very high sheen on the surface, while also maintaining the highest grade strength steel imaginable. All right, so the best of every aspect of this this steel case here, all high polish as I showed you. Sitting on the very front of this dial, we do, or front of the case rather, we do have the fluted bezel here. Now this is basically where the fluting of the Jubilee motif comes from. All right, so if you take a look at this bezel here, these sort of serrations, if you would want to call them, are actually not perfect rectangles, but they're kind of like trapezoids with triangular sort of sides to them in order to create that sort of up and down movement and motion that it makes all the way around. Originally it was made with the intent of screwing directly onto the front of this case to ensure water resistance, but you know, technology over time made that, well, not all that necessary. So they kept it as a mark of distinction. So if whenever you see this fluted bezel, you know it's a Rolex, and they always make it in some sort of gold, and in this case, white gold, to fit the overall steel look without making it too gaudy or too obvious that it's gold. All right, now taking a look at the dial here, it's incredibly dark, but thanks to the auto balance here, my auto exposure here, we can actually pull the dark shades out of this dial. If you can tell, the entire case is entirely clipped out of my highlights. I can't even see the case when I'm focused directly on the dial here, but it's a very dark blue dial for this fluted Jubilee motif pattern here. It's a sunray pattern to some extent, so it's subtle, but what's more in the forefront is that Jubilee motif echoed from the fluting of the bezel, now placed vertically going all the way down on the dial here. Quite a motif, and it's actually very beautiful. I'm looking at my monitoring here, and it's just it's not doing it justice. You need to see this with your own eyes. You have to see it under, you know, your own actual lighting to actually fully appreciate and see all the details in this dial here, because this is something extremely special. Again, only released in 2021, and I'm sure they'll continue releasing it until they no longer make it anymore. So a new model starting in 2021, to be more precise. It's absolutely beautiful, something that I would actually want for myself in my collection. All right, so moving on here, we have index hour marks, meaning that there's chromalite applied onto these 18 karat white gold markings, as well as an 18 karat gold Rolex crown at the 12 o'clock with a date aperture at the 3 o'clock, small on the dial, big under the Cyclops lens, as you can see. The Cyclops lens being part of the sapphire crystal on the front of this case to make it nice and, well, glare resistant and that's what gives it the waterproofness and the scratch resistance as well. So you have a clear view of this absolutely beautiful dial. I'd say this is second to none. All right, so taking a look at this without the lights, we can actually see that the chroma light is incredibly bright. It's clipping my highlights like the case was when I'm focused on the dial here. So very, very bright and extremely long lasting. That's one of the great features of the index dials from Rolex, is that you do have this glow in the dark feature that is the longest lasting on the market. I haven't seen any watch that has a sort of luminescence that lasts even half as long as this. So this will go on for quite a while, and you got to stare at it for a long time to wait for it to die down. So very, very good from Rolex, very good in any lighting situation. All right, now taking a look at the crown functions here, nothing new out of the ordinary. So simply, if you're at a dead stop, pull or unwind the crown at the 3 o'clock position to the first position. This allows you to wind the watch by rotating it clockwise. So if you're at a dead stop, about 20 to 30 full winds will get you to the full power reserve. No problem there. All right, pull the crown out to the next position, and you can actually advance that quick set date forward. It's about a quarter turn to advance it forward by 1 each time. There we go. And if you find yourself on the 30th of a month, well, and tomorrow's the 1st of the next month, so say you're on April 30th, tomorrow's May 1st, simply just roll it a quarter turn and wait for the hour hand to roll past midnight. Just do those two things. You'll land on the 1st of the next day, which would be May 1st, nice and easy. All right, pull the crown out to the final position, and note that the seconds hand does in fact stop, giving you that hacking function, and thanks to the minute track at the edge of this dial, you can place the minute hand precisely wherever it needs to go based on the position of that seconds hand. And of course, by extension, you can move the hour hand as well to change the time. All right. So once you have that set up, always move it forward and have that be the last movement of the minute hand, of course. Once you have that nice and set up, wait for an atomic clock to roll around, synchronize it up, and press the crown back in when it's nice and lined up, so you get the seconds hand starting once again. And don't forget to screw it back against the case to ensure the superior water resistance. All right, now what makes all of this work on the inside? You can't see it through the case back because you do have that added security from the solid steel case back. It is the 32-35 caliber, made in-house by Rolex. It has the ±2 second per day time differential after casing, giving it that superlative chronometer certification as printed on this and every Rolex dial. You have the functions being the center, hour, minute, and seconds hands with the instantaneous date with the rapid setting and the stop seconds for precise time setting. All of those features I had just demonstrated using the crown functions. The oscillator on the inside is a paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring with high-performance Paraflex shock absorbers. So what does that mean? That means you can get relatively close to magnets circuitry, like your refrigerator, for example. You can even work on a computer, you know, the hardware and the circuitry. None of that will actually affect the timekeeping of the watch because it's resistant to electromagnetic fields. And also, the Paraflex shock absorbers give you added bump protection. Don't operate it with a jackhammer, obviously, but you know, just natural wear. It won't affect the movement of the movement, so it'll be keeping track of time, no problem. The winding on the inside is automatic. It has a bidirectional self-winding perpetual rotor, center mounted. If you open this up, it'll be the first thing that you see. It winds about the center. So what that does is that once you wind this watch all the way, you know, to the full power reserve or a good portion of the way, just simply wear this on your wrist, and the natural movements of your wrist throughout the day will actually keep that rotor going in circles, allowing you to actually wind the mainspring barrel, which then charges the watch. So just wearing this on your wrist will allow you to wind the watch automatically all the way up to the approximate 70-hour total power reserve. That's basically 3 whole days. So you can set this down on a Friday evening. You can pick it back up Monday morning, ready to conduct business and look good while doing it. Of course, look at that dial. I just can't get enough of that. So ready to conduct business on Monday. No need to wind the watch. Just wear it all day Monday and you're good to go with the full power reserve there. Now, while I'm zoomed out here, you can also see the framing from 12 to 6. You have the Oyster Bracelet. On Datejust, you have the Oyster Bracelet here, flat 3-piece links across, high polish links down the center for the intermediate links, with satin brush links on the outside, all steel construction of course, with high polish on their sides as well. So a nice good alternation of polish to satin brush finishing. Feels very good on the outside and even better on the inside, I gotta tell you. All right. Going down to the clasp here, you have the, well, same pattern as on the bracelet. You have the Rolex raised crown logo on the center portion there. And to open it, just simply lift the top. It unhooks it so you can see the Rolex stamped logo on the inside and you can see the full steel construction. All right, the advantage of the Oyster folding clasp here is that you have the Easy Link 5mm extension. All right, so basically if you have this watch sized perfectly to your wrist, and you go outside, say during California wildfire, for example, and you pounded, say, 3 liters of water, well, your wrist is just going to naturally swell. Everyone's wrist does it throughout the day. It's a natural biological thing based on your hydration and the environment. So if your wrist swells to a slightly uncomfortable level, you can just take this off, reach underneath the clasp here and just pull it straight out. And there you go, another 5mm or another half Oyster link. That makes it so that you can continue to wear your watch nicely and comfortably when that happens. And when you no longer need it, you've, regained, sort of a homeostatic, stasis basically for your body. Just simply go in here, fold it back in on itself, press it back into the clasp, and you're good to go. You can continue to wear this at the smallest, or what I call the closed position. All right, and while I'm here, I can try it on and give you my thoughts as to how it wears on my wrist. 7 inches in circumference. All right, so taking a look here, you already know, if you have seen my videos here, you already know that I like the 36mm case size. It's the sort of sweet spot from Rolex because you do have a very good overall compositional look for the dial without going too overboard on the elements here. The index markers aren't too close to each other, then they're not too far from each other. You have a very good spacing overall of all the elements here. And just as well, you also have a good framing from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock when it comes to the bracelet. So I can see the entire assembly of the watch all at a single glance. And with this dial, this Blue Fluted Jubilee dial, again, I can't say enough praises about it. It's absolutely beautiful in any lighting situation. Granted, it's incredibly dark, but thanks to the auto exposure of the camera, you can actually see it. So when you can see all the subtleties of the details of this dial, it's just a sight to behold. Something that, well, obviously the camera can pick up in certain lighting conditions. If you see it with your own eyes, it's much better. You can see the full range of values of the like almost near black shades of the blue all the way up to the brightest blues on the ridges of the, well, the sort of simulated ridges of the fluted Jubilee motif of that dial. All right, now taking a look at the comfort portion of this watch here, tiny bit of space under the lugs here, not too much to write home about. That's totally fine because, well, 36mm, perfect size for me. If you were to, take a look at the bracelet here, you'll notice that there's actually zero tolerance among the links, meaning that Rolex has done very well to make sure that these links will not pinch you, they will not pull out your hairs from your wrist. It feels very comfortable as well, and it also vents the wrist very nicely. So you can wear this all day, even during a hot summer day, and you won't actually get much, or really if any, sweatband on your wrist once you take it off. So it actually feels very good. It vents your wrist very well, and it's incredibly lightweight for what you get. The full stainless steel assembly here. It's not the lightest thing in the world. It's not unnoticeable, but it is noticeable enough to know that you are wearing an authentic Rolex, for example. And with the overall form factor here, it slides very nicely under a suit cuff. It's definitely below 12mm. I haven't measured it myself, but no, Datejust doesn't slide nicely under a suit cuff. And certainly this is one to certainly keep in your collection for years to come, and something that I would definitely want to have in mine. starting now, but you know, this is going to a customer, so I'm not going to do anything with this one, don't worry. All right, but anyway, enough of what I think. What do you guys think about this watch? Let us know down in the comments below what you think about this Rolex Datejust 36 from, well, Rolex, with the Blue Fluted Jubilee Motif Dial, index hour marks, white gold fluted bezel, and Oyster Bracelet, reference number 126234. Once again, let us know what you think down in the comments below. If you happen to enjoy this video, hit the like button. If you hit the subscribe button, also hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video like this one. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch, visit our store at jazztime.com. Links in the description below where you can get it for the lowest possible price anywhere online. And if we don't have one on our desk, we can just find another one for you, no problem. So take care, we'll see you in the next video.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.